I want to welcome onto the channel Alicia, known on the socials as Boomstick Babe. Um, Now, for those of you who don't know, Alicia is awesome. She is fighting for your rights, like currently, right now, has been for a while. Guys, Alicia is co-plaintiff in a case that is currently on its way up to the 10th Circuit, and has the potential to being one of the cases that could go in front of SCOTUS that would help restore, right? I don't like to say give us rights, right? But
Yeah,
restore our
F that give
rights.
us rights crap. So essentially, let me break it down for y'all. So we used to be a very free state, actually. And then we got invaded by Texas and California. And a lot of people want to blame cannabis. A lot of people want to blame weed. They're like, oh, Colorado got weed and it got, conquered by all of these liberals and weed ruined Colorado. And that's not necessarily true. I think that people got lazy. I'm going to be straight up with it. Is people, the Second Amendment community has become very apathetic, and a lot of Second Amendment people in the world have become extremely apathetic, and they keep learning to live with infringements because for some reason they think it's cool to be like, oh, I lost all my guns in a boating accident, or that's okay, we don't follow the laws anyway. And it's like, with that attitude, you're ruining the future of our children. Like, you really are, because children are being born already without privacy. They're being born without knowledge of their rights. So to them, you can't miss what you don't have. You can't miss what you've never experienced. So they're being born and they're being brought into this world where they're completely overrun with infringements. So they don't value their freedoms because they don't know what freedom is. So Colorado has had an extreme influx of gun control. It's uncanny. It's disgusting. We have extended red flag laws now. We have a 3-day waiting period to purchase a firearm. They raised the age of purchase and possession from 18 to 21. They imposed
For
extended
long guns?
um yeah,
And the
yeah,
3-day wait is like, you have a concealed carry permit, or like, and you still have to wait.
yeah. Yeah, and here's the ugly part is the reason that they feel that a 3-day waiting period is necessary is because they're calling it a cooling off period, because they assume that all people who are purchasing guns intend to kill themselves or kill others. So by having 3 days to wait, you will cool down. So the way this went down is we have a extreme oversaturation of Democrats in Colorado. We have a supermajority. Everybody's a Democrat, right? And we also have had a lot of. I mean, I'm very very open about this. I'm sorry if people don't like what I have to say, but we've had a lot of quote unquote acts of gun violence in Colorado, which to me are orchestrated. I firmly believe a lot of these incidences that have happened in Colorado with gun quote unquote gun violence are orchestrated acts, because it the best narrative is war tactic, and what you do is you scare the people. And how do you do that? You use detrimental fear. You use the most important thing on the earth, and that's the children. And I truly and firmly believe that the reason they do this is because they want people to give up their rights, because they can't take them from you unless you give them away. So what's the best thing that we can do? Let's terrify you with blood and death, and let's tell you, I'm here from the government and I'm here to protect you. And so that's exactly what they do. And there's all these people out there that are like, guns over kid or kids over guns. And I'm like, we in the state of Colorado just spent $148 million. Okay, $148 million to deal with the homeless population here in Colorado. And you're telling me that we can't use that $148 million to employ tier two, tier three operators to create secure premises for
Yeah.
children to learn in safety?
Yeah. I mean, you know who else cares about their children? Israelis. Like, you know how many school shootings happen in Israel? Zero. Like, there's someone with a rifle at the end of every hallway. Like,
And see, that's the issue, is we've gotten so far back in normalizing guns in society that people now assume a gun is something to be afraid of. That's not how I grew up. I grew up with guns all over our house. Everybody had a gun. I'm from a small town. I used to shoot guns with my dad all the time as a child. Guns were a part of our life.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so, so usual to me. But we have a society now that's working very diligently and effectively in grooming people into thinking guns are something to be feared rather than to be respected.
Well, yeah,
And we've come to this.
feared for normal people to have, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that security guard at the bank, we're all fine walking past that, right? Like you'll
Mm-hmm.
never hear them complaining about that or their personal security detail, right? Like all
Yes.
of those people should have guns. It's
They will
us.
they will protect the money, the government, and idle things over the children. Having the conversation of guns and kids is a huge issue right now in gun culture. People attacking gun companies, saying that they are selling and targeting guns to kids. And it's like, oh, we can't sell guns to kids. We can't target children and guns, but you can sell them Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell them horror movies. You're literally selling them, injecting themselves with hormones and all of
Yeah.
this stuff. But I can't
Like
promote guns to children in the form of training and freedom and safety.
no, no, but I can sell them Oreos until they die of diabetes.
He said, my daughter lives in Denver and is very upset about where her taxes are going. Tell her to get involved. You can't
Yeah.
be upset if you're not doing something about it. Go to your legislative website, go to my link tree in the bio. Everything is in there on how to testify against all of these laws, to make your voices heard, to reach out to your senators. Tell her to get involved. Her voice is important. Be an advocate. You can't be upset if you're doing nothing about it. I don't know if
Yeah.
she is or not. I don't, but
No,
please do something about it and get
way
involved.
way too many of us. I'm going to include myself in that. That don't do enough on that side of things, Alicia.
Got to stop that. Got to
I
stop
know
that.
we've got to unfuck ourselves as a group
No,
because
seriously.
again,
It's very, very important.
if all the good people with good hearts come together, there's no way that the evil people can impose their will on us.
I know that, gun owners and people want to be left alone, but the only reason you're going to stay left alone is if you use your voice. You can't be a gun owner in the closet anymore. You have to get up out of your comfort zone and own the fact that you're a gun owner and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm a proud, responsible gun owner." And I'm not that person that thinks, oh, I lost my guns in a boating accident. Nah, I didn't lose shit. This
Yeah,
is my rights. I'm done compromising. I'm going to own this up. Like, no, this is what I deserve. This is my right. You have no power over me, and we take it back. You have to call your power back to yourself. Sometimes the lion needs to flex, and it's now that time.
yep. I know there's a video on our channel that James made years ago, uh, titled "Non-Compliance is for Cowards," and
Yes.
he's speaking basically same points you just delivered.
And when good people stand around and do nothing, all you're doing is helping the opposition.
Mhm.
That's all you're doing. Because your voice matters. And if you don't speak up, you don't get heard. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Yep.
And I don't care if people like me. I don't care if people like what I have to say. I'm going to hold these people accountable. We've gotten to the point where people think that these government officials are superior to us somehow. And we've given them that impression that they're more important than we are, because they still get to go home with their security detail. They still get to go home with their walls and their barbed wire and their protection.
Mm-hmm.
Why are their lives more important than the lives of ourselves or the children? And if you haven't seen it, there's a video I posted on my Twitter and I posted it on my Instagram of me basically a little bit mouthing off to Senator Tom Sullivan here in the state of Colorado. And I'm basically telling him that he has no business using his position to promote his personal agenda. That he is a representative of the people, not the other way around.
But how is he supposed
And
to virtue signal if he doesn't treat it as an activist
that's exactly
position?
what he's doing. It's disgusting because he's abusing his power. And what I told him to his face is that he needs psychological help. And there is a psychological term called projecting. And that's exactly what he's doing, is that he's taking his trauma and he is projecting it onto the tax-paying citizens of Colorado to project his trauma onto them to get his way. And that's an
Yeah.
abuse of power. And he is violating the oath that he took to uphold and protect the Constitution. And I'm tired of it. And his cohort, a another senator by the name of James Coleman, who is a black man. And let me be very clear here. My name is Alicia Garcia. I'm puro chicana. I'm puro mestiza. He is a person of color who is sitting on Senate, in a Senate seat, using his position to promote one of the most racist things in the history of America, and it's gun control. And he spoke to me and said, I'm going to stop you, Miss Garcia, because you have no business talking to a member of the Senate that way, basically telling me that I was out of line and I need to show some respect for my senator. I remember the good old days when we used to tar and feather these people for not doing what they were supposed to do. So the narrative has been flipped for them to think that they are owed some form of respect. No, they work for me, and it's time that
Yeah.
they be held for that.
Now, I just came up with an awesome idea since everybody wants to, make more laws for safety. Like if we just outlaw the killing of other people by any means,
Yeah.
right? Then we'd be good. Right?
Look,
Cuz if
killing people
oh,
is illegal.
it's illegal to get a gun, I guess I better not go do that evil thing. Like I don't think they're keeping track of the laws as they're going to do these things, but
And
maybe
they're
maybe I'm
pushing these
missing a piece.
laws. They're pushing these laws under the rug that, Moms Demand Action knows about these because they're informed. Why? Because they're in cahoots with these senators, because they're feeding each other with gift cards and gas money and being organized
Oh
to
yeah,
get them
they
there to help support these gun control laws.
I I'm going to try and word this correctly. Like you almost have to have respect for their level of organization and
Oh, yeah. They're very
how
determined. They're
how
very
loud they
organized.
can get, right?
And
Like
that's why I'm so loud.
yes, I'm glad to have you on our team.
Because
Uh,
I need to remind people that they need to get up and get loud and stop being lazy, and apathy is killing our freedom. And if I can
so
do it, they can do it. And here's the deal. I'm this big, you guys. Like, I'm 4'11". I'm a size 4. I'm puny. And I have more balls than most of these people in the Second Amendment do. So if I can do this and I can get uncomfortable and I could put this fight in, what is your excuse?
what companies in your opinion, obviously, we rep certain brands that we're close to and we know support our rights. What companies that you know of can our people make sure they're spending our dollars with people who support them back?
Who supports me in these lawsuits are, I want to give a shout out to, like I said, Rocky Mountain Gun Owners Association. They are the bomb. They really, really fight very, very hard to make sure that Colorado is represented. They really do. And what I've been a Colorado native. Obviously, I was born here, and I have been bugging Rocky Mountain Gun Owners for many years to get involved. And I actually came across them in person a couple years ago, and I was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And they got a whole new staff. They got people in there that actually are gun owners that are educated in gun ownership, that practice and train, that are very much no compromise people, and they are giving it everything that they can. And I really appreciate that. I really respect how hard they work. National Association for Gun Rights, they are the sister company to Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, so they really,
Okay.
really support the Second Amendment here in the state of Colorado. There is a gun shop here in Colorado called Triple J Armory. They solid people. I mean, I see him in court testifying against gun control. He is not one of these gun shop owners out here that is not involved in protecting his business and protecting his rights. And I highly respect that, because when we had the assault weapons ban happen here in Colorado, I called on my time, on my dime, every single gun shop that I could. I just, pulled up every name, Google searched all these businesses in Colorado, and I called them. I went by their shops and I said, hey, what are you doing about this? What are you doing? Are you writing your senators? Are you writing to your House representatives? Are you going to testify in court? What are you doing? And all I heard was excuses. And it was disgusting to me to see that you're making money off of selling the most prolific tool on the face of the planet, and you don't want to get political. The tool by design is political. So if you're not involved in politics, you are lying to yourself. You are delusional. This is a political thing. Stop thinking it's not.
Yeah.
And stop,
And their livelihood depends
standing
on
by
it,
and
no?
doing nothing. Absolutely. And so those are the people that have really supported me. Palmetto State Armory is a great affiliate of mine. They just, came out of the gun closet, as I like to say, and they are starting to get a lot more political in the two-way space, which I'm like,
Yeah.
heck yes.
Guys, when you're thinking about stuff like that, or you're going to buy a safe, or you're going to make an investment, like, you vote with your dollars as well. So,
Absolutely.
right? Like, get
I want to hold you
your
right now. Lewis?
get your voice heard by the politicians who are supposed to be speaking your voice to begin with, right? Like, they're not supposed to be up there picking the shit they want. Like, they're supposed to have to come and answer to the people in their counties, in their states. Like, so make sure they know what your voice is, so they can try and speak it. And then when it's time for you to talk with the bucks, like, do it with places that support you back. And
So
I think,
I'm going to go on my tangent on this one. I'm like, oh yeah.
all right, get it.
So on that note, we live in a capitalistic society. You have to be very wise on when you're spending your money, and you have to be very wise in holding these people accountable for what they're telling you and what they're selling you. And I mean that in the Second Amendment industry also. Why are we as a community giving these multi-billion-dollar companies control over what we want? Use your voice. Reach out to Smith & Wesson and say, hey, what are you doing about what's going on in Colorado? Hey, Springfield Armory, you have a history of gun control. What are you doing to rebuild your reputation with the Second Amendment community? Are you sending money to these organizations that are fighting for your rights? Are you filing lawsuits? What are you doing about that? Hold these companies accountable. And if they're not in alignment with your politics, if they're donating to the Democratic Party, don't buy their products. Use your platform and use your money to pull back from that, and hold these companies accountable. Say something. Hound them on X. Hound these politicians on X. And hound these Second Amendment companies that are telling you they're fighting for your rights but aren't really doing a damn thing. And I'm talking about Gun Owners of America. Gun Owners of America.
Damn. Shots fired.
These people are supposed to be supporting the 2A. They're supposed to be in the trenches filing lawsuits, hounding these politicians. They're supposed to be representing you, the people, in your Second Amendment freedoms.
Again, Alicia, I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. You know,
Thank you.
plus the time tonight. But thank you for taking the fight to them.
Thank you for, you know, considering me worthy of being on your platform and sharing, this with me. I'm truly honored and thank you so much. I really do appreciate you.
Yeah, you're one of us. Our platform's yours. Anytime you need it, let us know.
Thank
All
you
right,
guys.
everybody.
And thank you guys to all tuning in for me. I really appreciate it.